Okay, so this one is a little different.
Yeah.
You've got a mix of fantasy novel excerpts and a history textbook chapter.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like someone's about to really get lost in the world of Navarre.
Right. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, this is what deep dives are all about.
Absolutely. And it's a fascinating combination, you know?
Yeah.
We're dealing with Navarre, a kingdom completely reliant on its dragon riders for defense and even the very magic that sustains it.
So they're pretty important.
Very
Yeah.
constantly at war, always on edge. It's a pressure cooker of a society, for sure.
And right in the thick of it is Violet Sorrengail, a protagonist in these excerpts.
Our hero.
She's thrust into the infamous Riders Quadrant.
Oh, yeah.
This brutal training ground.
Brutal.
Aspiring dragon riders either become elite warriors or they die trying.
It's almost like a crucible, isn't it?
It is.
This Riders Quadrant. It tests these cadets in ways they could never imagine,
Right.
pushing them to the very limits of their physical and mental endurance.
And we see that right away in the opening scene with that terrifying bridge crossing during a storm.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Imagine being told to ditch anything. You can't carry even precious books.
Right.
It immediately shows you the kind of world Violet is entering.
It's a brilliant way to establish the stakes, I think.
Yeah.
This isn't a place for the faint of heart.
No.
It's a sink-or-swim environment.
Wow.
Survival depends on your ability to adapt and make tough choices under pressure.
And Violet, with her slight build and her passion for books,
Yeah.
she seems completely out of place
Totally.
in this brutal world.
Right.
It makes you wonder how she's even going to survive the first day.
She is a bit of an underdog, for sure, especially with the added pressure of her family legacy. You know, her mother was a renowned dragon rider.
Yeah.
And there are clearly expectations for Violet to follow in her footsteps.
That's going to be tough.
Oh, yeah.
But it's more than just physical challenges, right?
Yeah.
There's this constant psychological pressure, too.
Yeah.
The fear of failure, the looming presence of death. It's enough to break even the strongest spirit.
Think about it. These young people are constantly being evaluated,
Right.
judged compared to one another.
Yeah.
The competition is fierce, and the consequences of failure can be deadly.
Oh, definitely.
It's a breeding ground for paranoia and mistrust.
And then there's this other character,
Yeah.
Xaden Rierson, son of the Great Betrayer.
Right.
He's introduced early on
Yeah.
as this very mysterious, brooding figure.
Oh, yeah.
And it's clear from the beginning
Uh-huh.
that he's going to be a major player in Violet's story.
His introduction is so well crafted.
It is.
You get this immediate sense of danger,
Right.
of a dark past that hangs over him.
Yeah, it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
can someone escape their family history?
Right.
Can they break free from the sins of their father?
Especially in a world as rigid and hierarchical as Navarre.
Yeah.
Their society seems obsessed with bloodlines and legacies. It's like the sins of the father are automatically passed down to the son.
It really is like that.
And that creates such a fascinating tension. It makes you question who to trust,
Right.
who to believe.
Yeah.
And it sets the stage for some truly explosive conflicts down the line.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
But let's get back to the challenges
Okay.
that Violet faces in the quadrant.
Yeah.
Brutal sparring matches,
Uh-huh.
a grueling obstacle course called the Gauntlet,
Yeah, the gauntlet.
and the constant threat of attack from rivals.
It's relentless.
It really is relentless.
It's almost like a boot camp from hell.
It is.
You know, they're being forged into weapons,
Yeah.
trained to kill and to survive.
Right.
But amidst all this brutality,
Yeah.
you also see glimpses of Violet's resilience.
Yeah, you do.
Her intelligence, her refusal to give up.
That really comes through.
Yeah.
Like that moment where she uses finale berries as a weapon.
Finale berries.
Yeah.
Now, those are interesting.
I mean, who would have thought of that?
Right.
It's a brilliant example of her quick thinking
Yeah.
and her ability to use her knowledge of the natural world to her advantage.
Exactly. Finale berries are these small, innocuous-looking fruits, but they contain a powerful toxin.
Really?
By crushing them and using the juice,
Mm-hmm.
Violet is able to temporarily incapacitate her attackers.
Oh, wow.
It's a clever way for her to level the playing field.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it highlights another important aspect of Violet's character.
Okay.
She's not just a fighter. She's a thinker.
Right.
She's resourceful. She's adaptable.
Uh-huh.
And she's not afraid to use her brains to overcome obstacles.
It's a crucial distinction, I think,
Mhm.
especially in a world that often values brute strength above all else.
Right.
Violet demonstrates that intelligence and cunning can be just as effective,
Yeah.
if not more so, than sheer physical power.
Definitely. And she does have allies, too.
Yeah.
Her friend Dane, with his mind-reading abilities.
Yeah, he can sense danger.
He's a real asset.
Anticipate attacks, provide Violet with vital information.
Yeah.
Their friendship is fascinating.
It is.
Because it kind of subverts the expectations of this cutthroat environment. You know, they're supposed to be rivals,
Right.
competing against each other for survival.
Yeah.
But instead they form a genuine bond of trust and loyalty.
Which makes it even more heartbreaking when...
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
But for now,
Yeah.
let's focus on the threshing ritual.
Okay.
This is where the first years face the dragons
Yeah.
to see who will be chosen as a rider.
This is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's a pivotal moment for Violet, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
She's facing her deepest fears,
Yeah.
her doubts about her own abilities,
Right.
and the very real possibility of rejection.
And remember,
Yeah.
the bond between a dragon and rider
Oh. Yeah.
is incredibly significant in this world.
Huge.
It's more than just a partnership.
Right.
It's a symbiotic connection,
Yes.
a merging of minds and souls.
Absolutely. And it's not something that can be forced or manipulated.
Right.
It's about instinct, about a primal connection between two beings.
Yeah.
The dragons choose their riders,
Right.
not the other way around.
So when Violet is chosen by Tern,
Yeah.
a powerful golden dragon,
And the golden dragon.
it's a huge surprise.
Everyone is shocked.
Everyone, including Violet herself, is
Yeah.
shocked.
It's a moment of triumph, of validation,
Yeah.
but it's also a moment of profound change.
Right.
Violet's life is forever altered by this bond.
Absolutely.
She's now linked to this magnificent creature
Mm-mm.
with all the responsibilities and dangers that come with it.
And it's just the beginning of her journey,
It is.
because things are about to get a whole lot more complicated.
Oh, yes, they are.
Remember that history textbook chapter?
I do.
It hinted at some dark secrets
Yeah.
lurking beneath the surface of Navarre.
Uh-huh.
Secrets that Violet is about to uncover. Secrets that will challenge everything she thought she knew about her world.
That's right. So we left off with Violet,
Yeah.
chosen by the golden dragon Tern,
Right.
and poised on the brink of discovering Navarre's dark secrets.
It is quite a cliffhanger.
It is.
And we can't forget about that other bombshell.
Right.
The revelation that Zadin Rierson is the son of the infamous traitor.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
You're left wondering, how will Violet reconcile her growing feelings for Zadin with the weight of his family history?
Yeah.
Can she trust him, especially in this world where loyalty is everything?
And it's not just about romantic trust.
Yeah.
This betrayal goes deeper. You know, it touches upon the very core of what it means to be a dragon rider, a protector of Navarre.
Right.
The foundation of their society seems to be cracking right before our eyes.
And as if things weren't complicated enough,
Yeah.
Tern and Zadin's dragon straggle.
Yeah.
They're magically bound.
You are,
It's like the universe is conspiring
Yeah.
to keep these two connected,
Yeah.
no matter how much they might try to push each other away.
This dragon mating is a brilliant plot device.
It is.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
It creates this inescapable link between Violet and Zadin,
Right.
forcing them to confront their feelings and work together, even amidst the betrayal and uncertainty.
Because remember, Navarre is still at war,
Right.
and this new threat,
Yeah.
a drift of griffins attacking a remote outpost.
Right.
This forces Violet and Zadin into a life-or-death situation.
Exactly.
There's no time for petty squabbles when the kingdom is under attack.
This attack throws them right into the crucible of combat,
It does.
testing not only their fighting skills,
Right.
but their ability to trust each other, to rely on each other when it matters most.
And they both rise to the occasion.
Yeah, they do.
We see Kaizen's strategic brilliance,
Uh-huh.
his willingness to risk everything to
Right.
protect those he cares about.
Yeah.
And Violet, despite her fears and doubts,
Mm-hmm.
displays incredible courage and determination.
It's in these moments of intense pressure
Yeah.
that their true characters are revealed.
Mhm.
They're not just following orders or clinging to old grudges.
Right.
They're making difficult choices, facing their fears, and discovering a strength they never knew they had.
But this victory is bittersweet.
It is.
We can't forget about Liam,
Yeah.
Violet's loyal wingman,
Right.
who tragically loses his life in the fight.
Yeah.
It's a heartbreaking loss, a reminder of the very real cost of war.
Liam's death is a turning point for Violet, I think.
It is.
It shatters her innocence, you know, forcing her to confront the harsh realities of the world she's chosen.
Yeah.
It's no longer a game, a training exercise.
Right.
People are dying and she's right in the thick of it.
And then there are the war games.
Right.
Meant to be a controlled test of skill and strategy.
Yeah.
But as we know,
Right.
nothing in the writer's quadrant is ever simple.
No.
These games become a microcosm of the larger conflict brewing within Navarre.
We see rivalries intensify, loyalties tested, and secrets bubbling to the surface.
It's during these games that Violet's true power emerges.
Oh, yeah.
The lightning signet.
Right.
Marking her as something truly extraordinary.
That moment when she unleashes the lightning for the first time.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's not just a display of raw power.
Right.
It's a release of all her pent-up frustration, her doubt, her anger.
It's a symbol of her transformation, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
She's shedding her old skin, embracing her true potential.
But as you pointed out,
Yeah.
this power comes at a price.
Oh, yeah.
The physical and emotional toll is immense.
Definitely.
You see her struggling to control it,
Right.
wrestling with the implications of wielding such destructive force. She's not a natural warrior,
Right.
reveling in violence.
Yeah.
She's grappling with the consequences of taking lives.
It's a moral dilemma that resonates with us even outside this fantasy world.
Yeah.
When is violence justified? What are the boundaries of self-defense? These are questions that haunt humanity throughout history.
And then just when we think things might be settling down, another bombshell drops.
What's that?
Saidin and his squad are revealed as traitors,
Oh,
supplying weapons to the enemy.
Oh.
It's a masterstroke of betrayal.
It is.
It leaves you reeling.
For sure.
Suddenly, everything you thought you knew about Saidin,
Yeah.
about his motivations, is thrown into question.
Especially for Violet,
Yeah.
who has already lost so much. She's forced to confront the possibility that she's been completely wrong about him,
Yeah.
that her trust has been misplaced.
But remember,
Okay.
the narrative is more nuanced
Yeah.
than a simple good versus evil dynamic.
Right.
Yes, Satan's actions are morally ambiguous, but his motives are rooted in compassion,
Right.
in a desire to help those suffering outside of Navarre's borders.
It's true.
And that's what makes it so difficult for Violet. She's starting to see the cracks in Navarre's seemingly perfect facade. It's not the bastion of justice and righteousness she once believed it to be.
Right.
There's a darker side to this kingdom.
Yeah.
A willingness to inflict suffering in the name of security.
Which brings us to the most shocking revelation of all.
Mm.
The Venin.
Yeah.
These creatures of darkness,
Right.
wielding terrible power, are being deliberately contained by Navarre.
Really?
The very thing they claim to be protecting their people from is being kept alive by them.
It's a chilling realization.
It is.
It throws everything into question.
Yeah.
What is the true cost of Navarre's security? Are they sacrificing innocent lives to maintain their power? These are questions that cut to the very heart of morality and ethics.
And it ties back to that line from the history textbook.
Yeah?
One generation to change the text. One generation chooses to teach that text. The next grows, and the lie becomes history. Violet is being forced to confront the possibility that the history she's been taught, the beliefs she's held dear, are built on a foundation of lies.
So we end part 2 with Violet grappling with unimaginable betrayals.
Yeah.
Facing a truth that challenges everything she thought she knew.
It's a lot.
It is.
Where does she go from here?
Right.
How does she even begin to process all of this?
I don't know.
It's the beauty of a good story. It leaves you wanting more,
It does.
needing to know what happens next.
Yeah.
But it also forces you to confront uncomfortable truths, to question your own assumptions about the world.
So we left Violet reeling from all this betrayal and the truth about Navarre.
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
But you see her digging deeper,
Uh-huh.
trying to understand the why behind it all.
It's a testament to her character, I think.
Yeah.
She's not just accepting what she's told.
Right.
Remember Taryn, her dragon?
Yeah.
He even encourages her to come to her own conclusions. Yeah, she was chosen for her intelligence and her courage. And those qualities are really shining through now.
Yeah, they really are.
For sure.
She's like a detective.
Yeah.
Piecing together fragments of information.
Right.
Satan's explanation conversations with her now deceased brother and father.
Mm-hmm.
She's even drawing parallels to that chilling line from the textbook.
Oh, yeah.
One generation to change the text. One generation chooses to teach that text. The next grows, and the lie becomes history.
That line is so powerful.
It is.
Because it highlights how easily truth can be manipulated over time.
Right.
And for Violet,
Yeah.
it's not just an abstract concept, it's her reality. She's realizing that the very foundations of her society,
Yeah.
the beliefs she's been raised with, are built on deception.
And it's not just about uncovering the truth.
Right.
It's about what she chooses to do with it.
Exactly.
The final confrontation with the villain is a turning point.
Yeah.
She's fueled by grief, by anger, but also by a fierce protectiveness towards those she cares about.
That scene is incredible.
It is.
You see her unleashing the full force of her lightning signet,
Right.
but it's not just mindless destruction.
Right.
It's calculated, controlled, purposeful.
Yeah.
She's become a true force to be reckoned with.
And there's this amazing moment where Andarna, Xaden's little dragon, lends her power to Violet.
Right.
It's such a powerful symbol of their connection.
It is.
Of the bonds that have formed despite all the turmoil and betrayal.
It speaks volumes about the potential for reconciliation, even between those who were once considered enemies.
Absolutely.
And it underscores the idea that true loyalty can transcend bloodlines and political allegiances.
But victory doesn't come with all sacrifice.
It doesn't.
Violet is poisoned.
Uh-oh.
Her connection to Taryn is severed.
Wow.
Her very life is hanging in the balance.
It's a brutal reminder
It is.
that even those with extraordinary power are still vulnerable.
And in that state of vulnerability, you see the depth of her feelings for Aegon.
Oh, absolutely.
His desperation to save her is palpable.
It is.
He's willing to risk everything,
Right.
even defying his own allies, to bring her back from the brink. And Violet, even in her weakened state, is struggling with her conflicting emotions.
Right.
Her love for him, battling against the pain of his betrayal.
It's such a raw, emotionally charged scene.
It is.
It makes you question, what would you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Could you forgive someone who'd hurt you so deeply?
I don't know.
Could you rebuild trust from the ashes of deception?
And ultimately, that's the question Violet has to answer for herself.
Right.
Their final encounter on the parapet.
Right.
The place where it all began.
Oh, wow.
It's both heartbreaking and hopeful.
It brings the story full circle.
It does.
Back to that terrifying bridge crossing, that initial test of courage. And now she's facing an even greater challenge.
Yeah.
Choosing between duty and love.
Right.
Deciding what kind of future she wants to build.
She acknowledges her love for Xaden, but she refuses to blindly trust him again.
It's a powerful statement of self-awareness, of taking ownership of her own choices and her own destiny.
It really is.
And it leaves you with this lingering sense of possibility.
It does.
What will happen to Navarre now?
Right.
Will Violet and Xaden find a way to bridge the divide between them? Will they forge a new path, a future free from the lies and manipulations of the past?
So we've gone from a thrilling fantasy adventure to a deep exploration of betrayal, forgiveness, and the complexities of truth and history.
It's been quite a ride.
It has.
And it leaves us with some profound questions to ponder.
It does.
What are we willing to sacrifice for the sake of security? How do we navigate the murky waters of love and loyalty when the world around us is shifting?
Big questions.
They are.
But that's the beauty of a deep dive.
Exactly.
It takes you beyond the surface, challenges you to think critically, and leaves you with more questions than answers.
And sometimes those questions are the most valuable discoveries of all. They spark curiosity, they ignite our imagination, and they lead us down new and unexpected paths of understanding.
Well said. I think we've given our listener a lot to chew on with this one.
I think so too.
Who knows? Maybe we'll revisit the world of Navarre in a future deep dive. But for now, we'll leave you with this.
Okay.
What truth will you choose to believe in? And what world will you choose to build?